social media is a really interesting thing, right? Where there's the organic social media, and then there's, paid, because these platforms give you all this, connectivity for free. They have to monetize it. And so what happens is that you start out as an organic person, and then eventually you're like, oh, they're letting me get this in front of more of my friends for $5. And you hit a button, right? And ka-ching. And so what I'd like you guys to do is kind of give us your thoughts about where you think the platforms are going and what the audience needs to be thinking about in order to succeed over like the next 6 months with social, because so much is changing. And then Q&A, and we'll just kind of roll from there. Is that teed up? Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, sure. So, I think that there will always be a need for both organic and paid advertising. You always obviously have to have a really strong brand and really strong content, because if you don't have strong content and you don't have a strong brand, you're not going to be successful ultimately when you are ready to scale up with paid advertising. So in terms of where things are going in the next 6 months, is that what you said, 6 months? Wow, that's, yeah.
3 months. 2-3 months.
2-3 months. Whoa, okay. No, lies. 1 day, 1 hour. So, I think it really comes down to just being self-aware and like putting yourself out there, putting your feelers out there and paying attention to what's going on, but always being aware of the fact that regardless of what is happening out there, there's certain things that are just not going to change. You always have to have a strong brand. You always have to have strong content. And you have to know, like, there's a point, I think, in your business where you realize, like, okay, I'm ready to scale up with paid ads. Like, we've been at that point a while ago. Like, we're really lucky. We get probably 90% of our leads inbound because a lot of our services are on the Fiverr Pro platform, which is the premium side of Fiverr. And as a result, we get so much inbound. But, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we're ready for more qualified dollars. So I'm going to be talking to my friend Jesse over here about all the cool things that he does, for sure.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
All right, so I think chat bots are really big. I think WhatsApp is coming out pretty soon with the ability to do chat bots within there. So like text, like all the people that you meet worldwide and stuff like that. So yeah, staying ahead of the curve on that, the automation side of social media. And Messenger, it's the new email, so it's just going to take time for it to like fully become that, and email to kind of go away, in my opinion. But yeah, so getting ahead of the curve on the chat bot, understanding how to do it, like how to program it, and still do it in a way where it's authentic, because a lot of people don't like that, right? Like it's not even real. It's like they want to talk to a person. So you're also going to be able to do it to where it's like automated in your business, and like during business hours you can actually talk to a person, get on the phone with them, do a video chat with the chat situation, and request things, and there's a lot happening with that. So I really feel like that's important to keep your eye on and just get good at it. So yeah, I think that's good. And then being vulnerable in your marketing and being real, and just kind of standing out, but do it in your way, not trying to just be somebody that you're not. And I think that's all big. And trying to keep your costs down. Like right now I have a strategy. Maybe, I don't know, should I talk about that now or just wait?
Just go for it.
Yeah.
You got the microphone.
I guess I'll just say it. So we have this strategy right now. That's probably the hottest thing. It's like, when I crack the code on Facebook right now, we have a YouTube strategy where it's you get views on video views for YouTube is probably one of the cheapest things that you can do. And then you're trying to get people to watch at least 10 to 20 seconds of your video. So you're running like an ad, and then you're not really doing like a call to action, but you're just trying to get people to watch your content. And then those people go into a custom audience, and then you can set up different keywords with Google Ads where you're retargeting people that have watched your videos. So you got to really like figure out exactly who you want to target with these video views. But instead of paying $10 a click on average, like $10 to $30 a click is what it really costs to run AdWords ads. Like literally we're getting penny clicks. Like penny clicks, I'm saying like the ROI is like 40,000%. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I didn't talk about it today, but like, that's one of the hottest strategies that you could do, and you know, that's what we're doing now. It's like, yeah, that's as hot as Facebook was back when we were getting penny likes, and then doing the whole gamut of creating that upward swing. So yeah, keeping your eye on YouTube because they're doing a lot of cool stuff right now, and you can do Google marketing now, even though you didn't think you could, because of the combination of what's happening with YouTube TV and what they're trying to do with that. It's like taking over like the new TV thing. Yeah, I just think that that's really cool. So anyway.
So, what is social media? No. So
I don't know.
To bridge the two, it's really coming down to this. Look, if you're focused on Facebook, the numbers are going down. They're limiting that. It's harder for brands to get into new worlds because they're making it more of the universe of you. And the other platforms are following that as well. And so what that means for you is that focus on the numbers that you got. You know, we're not going to blow up numbers as we used to with little dollars. Big dollars are. And there's some tactics that can get you there. There's some quick wins. But overall, as a strategy, what you really need to look at the world of you. And I love the retargeting because that's the number one thing that everybody misses. If you just send an ad to your Facebook page, your business page, right, and send them somewhere and then spend the rest of your budget, and I would say 60%, on retargeting those who are already in your world and interested, you're going to have much bigger results. You know, and to your point, that's perfect. The other thing is we got to talk with them, not at them, and look at a couple of your niches. And I will tell you this: do this. What's tomorrow? So I'm taking tomorrow. Tomorrow's my Sunday. Monday. Take Monday or Friday, whatever day you take. But what I would love for you to do is just take a moment, go to a new place in your office or your home or whatever, or vice versa, to get you out of your own head, and just look at your business page. And start going through your own stuff and look at the people who are engaging. And in your mind, put a persona around them and think this: what do they want? What are their desires? If you could help them, what would that look like? Because if you start talking to people about their desires and you understand it and you get that picture in your head and you're more focused instead of blasting to everybody, you're going to do a better job serving them. And that absolutely plays in chatbots. I mean, we do a lot of predictive analytics where we make assumptions and answer questions assumptively instead of ask questions that lead people to psychological yeses, and chatbots are a great way to do that. Mm-hmm. But if you do that, you're now having a conversation with your audience, because what they're measuring right now is two things. They are measuring your relationship, how you're connected. Are you friends? Do they like the page? You have a lot of friends in common. And then you can actually boost stuff to get into their world. They'll let you do that. The other, they're absolutely looking at, I do have a new tip that I just let back in, but they are looking at engagement. So what does that say? Go back to the basics. Have, like you said, respect the brand. Have a great conversation. Give the value. Lead with that value. Give them the answers. And it will compel them to love you and engage with you. One of the things that they've allowed back in, and will hopefully they're going to stay in for a while, is you can now re-upload your list. So if you put your list, if they took that out a while because of privacy, and I mean it was a great gimmick, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. it was a great gimmick I guess some people abused it. But if you take your database, you can upload it to Facebook. They've let that back in, and they will find like audiences. That's important. The other thing I would tell you, if you're going to be doing that, if you're going to do ads, understand Facebook, YouTube, Google, they can't do anything unless they have data. So if you're spending like a quick little budget, understand Facebook on the average needs about 200 goals converted to go, okay, I now can go find other people like that. So a lot of times we do a little test, but we shut it down. We don't let it get a longevity. And that goal might be, I want someone to click on the ad. That's a goal. Or buy the actual product. That's really the ultimate conversion goal. So I would say, let this stuff run so the algorithms can actually do their job. Because the majority of people, when I look at their Facebook stuff or the Google stuff, they shut it off before the optimization can even happen. So I'm telling you, there's got to be like at least 200 goals from the go. 200 people, okay, let me find some commonalities. Now let me go find some more. That, and also if you upload your list, your database to it, they can go, let me go find some more. That's a very powerful technique that they've let back in.
Where people cut it off early.
Yeah.
You want to test for 200, test again at 2,000
Yeah.
money on it, maybe not run it, to 2,000, but especially if you're running something organically, just to see if this content works versus this
Yeah.
content, let it run for 2,000, let it run for 5,000.
Yeah.
It's not costing you anything except for time.
Yeah.
Spend that time to see what you get reactions on, and rework what you get. Not reuse that content, but build similar content. Because if it's functional and similar to what you've posted previously that did well, it will automatically be boosted.
Well, you should.
If you post a video on birds and birds blew up, you post another bird video, it will automatically start higher than a video on fish,
Yeah.
for instance.
Well, we always set an ad, and I use the set it and forget it mentality, but we really don't set it and forget it. We set it and we let it run for months because it starts gaining likes and we're watching it, and you do tweaks. A mistake that people do is, okay, the ad didn't work they shut it off in a couple days. I didn't get any results in that 24 hours. Again, Facebook hasn't even had a chance to do anything with it. So let it run and then tweak something about it to optimize. Don't change a picture and then the message or a word, because you just screwed up the whole algorithm and just hurt yourself. So I would run an ad set longevity months after months after months to get some of that. Then that allows you to get whatever your goal is, so Facebook can collect that data to actually do something with it.
Parallel advertising. Run 4 different ads.
Yeah.
That's how you do your testing. If one of them blows up, look at what's different about it from the other ones and what worked.
Yeah.
Then just keep building off that one. So now you eliminate those other 3 that didn't do as well, and try 3 new variations of that one, and build your perfect ad eventually. What
Yeah.
works for your fans.
Yep.
And you do the same thing with content.
Yeah.
How do you balance longevity of an ad against people seeing it and they're ready to move on? In other words, you need originality, you need to change it out periodically, but you want to be able to run it long enough to be able to get the analytics,
Well, so
like a video.
do I hear that? Well, I would create content that's not boring, right? And it's always going to go and grow the audience. If you are retargeting people constantly, that could happen, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because you watch the same commercial over and over. You know that thing called TV? I mean, I don't have one, but I heard of one. They run those commercials over and over again for a reason, and there becomes a brand affinity if it's done right. So I hear the scenario. I would change up what the content actually is, so it's not like that. Yeah, and if you annoy them, who cares? Yeah, they have that finger. They can just scroll.
That is the beautiful thing about all the social. If you
Repetition.
Repetition.
Yeah, people
Repetition.
kill themselves on repetition all the time because they.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Repetition.
Well, if you, so like we do a lot of Facebook Lives. You want to see a train wreck? Rook Life.
Hey, you're seeing my Facebook Live,
This
the
is,
train
no,
wreck.
it is funny. It's me and my kids, so that's why I said it's a beautiful train wreck. Rook, hi, that's me. Life, L-I-F-E, on Facebook. We do a live show every Thursday, and it's funny. It actually is very, very hilarious. That said, we used to get 1,500 views by evening. I mean, take a 0 off right now for Facebook Live. And I know that Facebook Live, by the way, LinkedIn Live is kind of like the wide open space for that if you want to do that. However, the point of that is no one's going to ever watch the video wholly. I mean, we do an hour-and-a-half show, and then we have customers and our fans who actually do, and that's cool. But the general people aren't. But what it is they see us for a second and they love us. They see us and they love us. It's that brand it's a repetition. Mm-hmm. So I don't care if your stuff is annoying. It's brand repetition, and that's what's important.
As marketers, one of the things that happens is we become bored with what we're doing, so we stop, but it was working.
Well, that's why I brought my
That's
kids
a
on the show.
writer-downer, people.
Yeah, so we can play. You're right, we do.
Yeah. It works so well, we stopped doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thoughts on LinkedIn, both from an advertising perspective as well as from an influencer perspective? How to engage, what works, what doesn't work with LinkedIn, which has a different audience than the type of audience you have on Facebook?
Yeah, so I mean, LinkedIn is obviously very different from Facebook. I typically, with the clients that we serve, we do a mix of LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, primarily Instagram. So obviously Instagram is very different than Facebook, even though it's owned by Facebook. I would say if somebody is striving to be an influencer on LinkedIn, first of all, going back to what I was talking about earlier, you have to be very clear on what your expertise is, what your brand is. One of the biggest ways to become a quote-unquote influencer on LinkedIn is building your connection base and doing it in a way that's authentic and from a way that is extending value and not just like spam botting people with like, hey, I have a lead magnet. Would you like to opt in? And like, I get some really bizarre ones that have no connection whatsoever to what I do. And I'm like, did you even read my profile? I usually reprimand them like I'm their mother, even though they're sometimes 25 years older than I am. I really don't care. So, you want to keep looking out for people that are going to help expand your influence, whatever it is that you're trying to do. But in doing so, not limit yourself necessarily to only people within your direct sphere of influence. So think about people who maybe are a bit different, but maybe there's some sort of correlation, if you will. So also considering creating LinkedIn groups, and once you have these connections, adding them to that group and starting to build community. If you're leading a group that's successful, that's huge. In terms of LinkedIn Live, only certain people have been granted access so far to do LinkedIn Live, which is weird because it's like totally random, by the way. Like, I don't even know what they're doing back there, but it is what it is. So that's one thing that you can do.
But video still works regardless if you can't do live.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's a wide open space. It's so underused.
Yeah.
And I would say, here's my opinion of LinkedIn. First of all, the most active users on LinkedIn are people who are trying to grow their business. So that's a lot of salespeople, a lot of marketing people. So make sure, even though you might be B2B, understand who the active users are, right? Your top level, C-level people are not using LinkedIn. I am dyslexic, so I talk that way. So they do set and forget it, or they have someone who's managing it. But I look at it this way. Look at what your experience of your brand is. I don't care if it's B2B or B2C, because people do B2B on Facebook all the time, and there's actually a button for that. Just to let you know that to run ads for a B2B. That said, you're a guy, so I'll pick on that part. So where do you do business? And I see the shirt. Do you do business like when someone knocks on your door or on the golf course?
Online.
Yeah, I knew that. But you can't play that game. The analogy is...
Business networking meetings.
Yeah, but usually people are receptive to big deals at the golf course, a place of leisure. And Facebook is the golf course. LinkedIn is the office. So you got to look at what kind of experience you want to play with people, because sometimes if they're totally in the business mode, but you hit them in the relaxation mode with a great ad, especially targeting them, you're hitting them in their downtime, they're more receptive. So it just depends on your brand. It's not necessarily product oriented, it's your brand that matters, not the product.
Okay. Yeah, so for us on LinkedIn, I really love LinkedIn. I think it's one of the hottest platforms right now, other than YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So if you're going to be an influencer on LinkedIn, what you want to do is make sure that your cover image, you're utilizing the whole space, because there's space on the top left, there's space in the middle, and there's space in the top right, to make sure your headline is in the middle, make sure some of your accolades are up on this side, and then make sure like some of the people that you're connected to and your big vision or whatever is on the other side. So you're utilizing the whole real estate. Like if you look at a lot of people right now, they're only using like the middle or the left, or like it's not done properly. And then you can go out there and add up to 30,000 connections of random people. So everybody in here should have 30,000 connections or getting close to that. And then the way that you can go and connect with people, what I've been doing is I've been getting on Zoom calls with people left and right. I don't send them links. I don't send them anything. I just say, hey, most people use social media to post stuff online and just to show off or just to whatever they're doing. I actually want to talk to you. You're a real person. Let's do a call. I did 1,200 calls in the last probably 18 months with random people, and some of the people have sent me like huge clients, like, Mind Body Online. I talked to one of their high ups in their company. She got on the phone. I told her I've been working with some of the people I've been working with. They're like, oh my gosh, like come to our event, introduce me to the CEO. Like they want to like do stuff with me, so you can make huge relationships and affiliate partnerships. You're not necessarily selling like one-offs to people. Like I don't do that. I'm like just networking on there. It works better than even going to live events. You don't even have to leave your house. So that's huge. And getting back to what he was asking, like for ads, like when we're running ads for somebody, there's constantly at least 40 ads running. So if we don't have 40 ads that are hitting the right metrics, like book sales, like cost per book sale or cost per lead or whatever, if we don't have 40 ads, like you better get in the studio or get filming on your phone, or, you know, we have phone, studio, like just voiceover, like you just have all these different types of stuff. But as fast as they're getting turned off, like we need them to produce that fast. So like we adjust their schedule accordingly so we can have like 40 ads running. So, and we're always trying new stuff. We're watching other people. Like I have people on my team that are going out there looking at what other influencers are doing and taking notes on what's working. And if you see like an ad that's got 1 million views on it, like then, and ad costs are really expensive now, so not a lot of people have those. Like, what was the hook? What was the open loop there? What are they doing? What market are they serving? And then that goes in the queue. And then that goes in, they got to film that, you know, and film like 30 different versions of it. So anyway.
That's awesome stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is this valuable?
Thank you.
Yes? Awesome. Thank you so much. A little funny story. So I've got this Instagram page, and it's all about Rolls and Bentleys. And I was out there mentoring Bernie, giving him some advice and setting him on a path that I think is going to be really fruitful for him. And we got on this topic, whatever it was, and we ended up, I was showing you my Instagram page. So when I circled back around to the conversation, we were into which I don't have on my phone on me, but it's got 111,000 followers on this car page, which they like pretty cars, which is cool. You'd expect that. But then I posted this video of this little fidget shifter. So I'll post a model with a car, and I'll post the latest car, and I'll get 1,700 likes over here and 3,600 over there, and whatever, and it's whatever. Put the little fidget video on there where you're shifting this little gated shifter with your thumb. How many views did that video have? 4.158 million views, which then tells you what? Interactive, something that makes you go, what is that? It hit the Explore page and it just went. Phew. So be testing content. They gave you great advice. Put stuff up there just to kind of shock and come from a different angle. You know, we're talking about Rolls and Bentleys, and we're talking about a $5 little fidget shifter that kids should really like. And of course, the growth of the channel happened too.
Did you monetize that?
Yes. You had to. Once it took off, it was like, oops.
So how did you monetize it?
Free with shipping offer for the fidget shifter. Yeah. So with that, I thank you so much for making the time, taking the time, investing your time, and now I want you to take the action, right, of all the stuff that you learned here. So from the bottom of our Guerrilla hearts, we thank you.